Now, with the rise in temperatures comes the rise in car crashes, what Sauk County officials have planned for the summer. And it's been 100 years since Wisconsin women have had the right to vote, how they're marking the occasion at the Capitol today. Plus, welcoming refugees to Madison, no matter where they're from.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for joining News 3 Now at 10. I'm Amanda Quintana. This summer, you may notice more law enforcement along the roads in certain areas, and that's the whole point. The Wisconsin State Patrol hopes drivers will spot their heightened presence in Sauk County and adjust how they're driving. Madeline O'Neill is back from a ride-along with a state trooper in Baraboo with more on what you can expect.
Well, Amanda, we know with the summer comes more tourism, and with that comes more traffic. In the past 3 years, Sauk County has seen more than 400 crashes involving injuries during the summer months, more than a dozen of those deadly. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation is using data to bring those numbers down.
Yeah, that's not good. The last thing we want to respond to is a fatal incident.
The sight of a car crash never gets easier for State Trooper Sue Shong.
We have to tell their families that they didn't make it.
According to the Wisconsin DOT, over the summer months of the past 3 years, Sauk County has seen 14 fatal crashes.
That's 14 people that aren't going home.
And 417 crashes with injuries.
We want to target the areas where we can be most highly effective.
This summer, Shong is one of 4 troopers going off the beaten road.
Typically, the State Patrol, we stay on the interstate or the major U.S. highways.
Assigned to focus on areas identified by the DOT as crash hotspots in Sauk County.
Overwhelmingly, it's these 3 cities.
That includes Lake Delton, Reedsburg, and here in West Baraboo.
I'll head down to 451.
They hope their visibility will cut down on behaviors that cause crashes, like
He's got open intoxicants in the vehicle.
Drunk driving.
Step out of the vehicle.
The suspicion of that led to this arrest.
You get drunk drivers every day.
Shong says the other big factors are distracted driving and speeding. So they're hoping to send a clear message.
And we want everybody to be more vigilant.
The troopers hope by keeping drivers on their toes, they'll see fewer crashes on Wisconsin roadways.
You remember all of those scenes. You hope that by stopping people, you're preventing them from being involved in another fatal crash or serious injury crash.
You can expect the troopers' heightened presence through August, and this is a pilot program in its 2nd year in Sauk County and may expand to other areas in the state.
All right, thank you so much, Maddie. Let's turn it over to Dana Fulton with your first alert forecast. It seems like these scattered showers are going to stick around for at least a while.
We are expecting just a little more rain for us. As far as overnight's concerned, really just the chance for a few isolated shower spots. Looking at our Doppler track, you can see most of the rain is pretty far off to the west right now in Minnesota and Iowa and northern Wisconsin, but not ruling out the chance to see again a few isolated rain spots overnight. It's currently about 71 in Madison, close to 68 in Janesville and 69 in Platteville. A little warm outside right now still. We're going to stay mild overnight, but also a little muggy. Those dew points will stay in the 60s. So as our temperatures drop through the 60s for our overnight lows, there may be some patchy fog for early tomorrow morning. The good news, though, our breeze is going to stay pretty light for us. The humidity is also going to stay around. As we look through the next few days, plan on the temps continuing to climb and the storm chances staying with us. But we'll take a closer look at what's ahead for your work week in just a few minutes. Amanda?
Thank you, Dana. Just into the Channel 3000 Alert Center, a shed is on fire in the town of Perry. Dane County Dispatch confirms the fire is at Highway 78 and Highway A. That fire was called in just about 45 minutes ago, and as of now, no injuries have been reported. More local news now. After the Joint Finance Committee rejected Governor Evers' education budget last week for the 2019-2020 school year, advocates are marching this weekend from Palmyra in Jefferson County to the state capitol building. Evers proposed a $1.4 billion education budget, but the Joint Finance Committee finalized a $500 million budget, cutting Evers' budget short $900 million. The advocates are marching 60 miles to demand a 60% reimbursement of special education costs to lawmakers.
I don't know if I can force them to do the right thing, but I can't also stand by and watch them do the wrong thing, and stand silent.
Evers' budget would give $600 million more to special education, $58 million more to mental health services, and $40 million more to bilingual bicultural programs. The Assembly will vote on the budget this Tuesday, and the Senate will vote on Thursday. The marchers plan to arrive at the Capitol Tuesday to convince lawmakers to increase education funding. An annual event at Olin Park is welcoming everyone into our community. Open Doors for Refugees is an organization for refugees to get settled into their new Madison homes. Today's picnic allowed those refugees and the community around them to interact with different cultures through music and food.
It's a scary thing coming to a new country, learning a new language. You know, I'm teaching people English quite a bit, and it's very vulnerable to step out and to show something that you're not very strong in.
Corey says in the past 2 years, the organization has seen less Middle Eastern refugees and more from African nations like Kassim Rajab, who came from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. He explained his journey as a refugee in one word: traumatizing.
Traumatizing, it's a mix of uncertainty. You don't know when, or you don't know how, and you don't know really if it's true, like it's true you are going to travel.
Open Doors for Refugees has resources online for those looking for help and those who want to volunteer. They also encourage looking at Jewish social services for a list of events going on to help refugees. Police say a Madison man and woman are in the Dane County Jail tonight after reports of shots fired in Middleton last night. Police got a call from someone on Allen Boulevard close to Marshall Park just before 9:30 last night, reporting hearing 2 gunshots. Authorities found 8 people involved in a disturbance when they arrived. Middleton police say Cesar Rivera Luna and Shyla Femwright were both arrested today for having a concealed weapon. Femwright is also facing a charge for obstructing an officer. Anyone with information about the incident is asked to call Middleton police. A man was robbed after being hit in the head in Madison early this morning. Madison police say the man was walking along the 500 block of West Mifflin Street downtown around 1:30 this morning when 2 men ran up and knocked him to the ground. They demanded money and took cash from his wallet. The man did not suffer any injuries. Police say multiple people are in the hospital tonight after being injured in a 3-car crash this afternoon. It happened in Middleton around 3 o'clock at Century Avenue and Amherst Road. We are still waiting to learn the extent of those injuries. Around the state, authorities have identified the Mount Pleasant police officer who shot and killed an 18-year-old man earlier this month. The State Department of Justice says Sergeant Eric Geis fatally shot Tyrese West on June 15th. Geis, a 12-year veteran of the force, has been placed on administrative leave. Racine police say the officer tried to make contact with West when he took off on a bicycle. Following a short pursuit, Geis says he saw that West was armed. Less lethal force was unsuccessful, and West ignored the officer's commands before he fired. A 25-year-old Milwaukee man has been officially charged for leaving out a gun that a 5-year-old used to shoot himself. Michael Moore is charged with neglecting a child with a consequence of death. Milwaukee police say officers were called to a home around noon last Tuesday and saw a 5-year-old boy suffering from a gunshot wound to the head. The gun was found by the boy's left leg with 8 unspent cartridges. Moore's preliminary hearing will be July 1st. This is the second 5-year-old to die by accidentally shooting themselves in Milwaukee. Dakari Weldon died the day before. President Trump delayed a nationwide immigration sweep to deport people living in the United States illegally. He says he wants to give lawmakers 2 weeks to work out solutions for the southern border. CBS News' Meg Oliver has more.
President Trump says his administration will move ahead with a nationwide sweep to deport undocumented immigrants in 2 weeks. The president tweeted that he's giving Democrats on Capitol Hill time to fix problems at the southern border. He said probably won't happen, but worth a try. 2 weeks and big deportation begins. The president postponed the so-called ICE raid scheduled for Sunday after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and other Democrats urged him to call them off. On CBS's Face the Nation, Vice President Mike Pence said Congress needs to take action.
We've asked for more bed space. We've asked for more support. Our Customs and Border Patrol agents are doing a job, but the system is overwhelmed.
Lawmakers are considering a measure to provide more than $4 billion in emergency funding to help border agencies handle the flow of migrants. The deportation raids would target more than 2,000 people who have not kept up with court hearings.
If you implement implemented the proper policy, you wouldn't have to be, ripping families up and deporting them.
The mayor of Oakland, California, a so-called sanctuary city, also called for reform.
The existing immigration system is not serving our economic needs, our employment needs, or communities like mine that are made so rich by the immigrants who choose to call Oakland home.
While Democrats call for changes to the immigration system, protesters in Lawton, Oklahoma spoke out against a plan to house more than 1,000 migrant children at Fort Sill. Meg Oliver, CBS News, New York.
The ICE raids would target people with final orders of removal, including families whose immigration cases have been fast-tracked by judges. The U.S. State Department says a man from New York died while vacationing in the Dominican Republic earlier this month, making him the 10th American tourist to have died during or after their stay in the Caribbean nation. Officials did not offer details on the man's identity or cause of death, but a family member identified him as Victorio Caruso. Caruso's sister-in-law says that he died after suffering respiratory distress and possibly a heart attack while on vacation. The 10 deaths have led some Americans to wonder whether they should cancel upcoming trips to the Dominican Republic, but officials there have tried to assure travelers that the deaths are isolated events. Coming up next on News 3 Now at 10, the Dane County Airport is celebrating 80 years of commercial flights. We have an inside look at its history. Welcome back. Wisconsin is celebrating 100 years since the ratification of the 19th Amendment. Women of all ages made their way to the state capitol today for a march hosted by the League of Women Voters chapters in Wisconsin and Dane County. The Girl Scouts of Badgerland led everyone in the march around the Capitol Square. These women say it's important for the younger generations to understand how difficult it was to earn the right to vote. Kathy Miner shares the same stories her grandparents told her to keep the history in the family.
We just get complacent. We think we've always had the rights that we have, and that's dangerous. We need to remember that people fought to get these things and that it wasn't easy, and it could go backwards if we're not careful.
The League of Women Voters of Wisconsin says they will continue to fight for voter equality. The Dane County Regional Airport is celebrating 80 years of commercial flights today. The airport's first commercial flight left the runway in 1939, and only around 1 million Americans had taken a commercial flight. Director of Marketing Brent McHenry says the airport has been growing over the past 8 decades, and he considers the airport lucky to still be thriving today.
I mean, there are older airports in the United States, but for an airport our size and in a community our size, state capital, you know, we were one of the leaders in having, you know, domestic air service, and that's a big deal in Wisconsin.
Today's event let visitors explore the airport's history and get a look at modern innovations like the chance to tour an F-16 fighter jet and Black Hawk helicopter and visit the airport's original old stone hangar. Let's get a look at your first alert weather with Dana Fulton. That humidity is really starting to make it feel like summer out there.
It really is. Once that kicks into full gear, then it is summertime for us. Now today, temperature-wise, we were right where we should be. Hit a high of 80 this afternoon. Now we started the day off in the mid-60s. That was a little above average. And we're looking at another pretty mild night tonight with the humidity just sticking around with us. Our Doppler track is nice and quiet right now. We may see a few isolated showers overnight. But really overall things should stay quiet through tomorrow morning. It's not until tomorrow afternoon that this rain off to the west is going to build in for us. In the last 24 hours, of course, this morning we did have some rain come on through. Some areas in Dane County did get over 1/4 of an inch of rain with those showers this morning. Most of the area, though, just about 1/10 of an inch. It wasn't a big rain bringer for us. This system's going to continue to slide northeast, bringing us rounds of rain for the next few days. But once it clears out of here, some high pressure is going to build in. That's going to give us a nice little break for the middle of the week. Unfortunately, though, we aren't really going to get much of a break with this warm weather or with the humidity outside. We're currently sitting close to 71 in Madison, near 70 in Milwaukee, and 68 in Dubuque. Dew points also all in the mid-60s for us right now, so it does feel very humid outside for us. And as our temperatures fall overnight, may see some patchy fog in those lower lying areas early tomorrow morning. So overnight, that slight chance for a few isolated showers. In the morning, we're looking at a mostly cloudy sky, and then in the afternoon, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. And some of those thunderstorms may be a little strong at times. By Tuesday morning, we get a break in the rain, but in the late evening, we do have the chance for some showers to build back in for us. That leads us into Wednesday. Finally, we get a break in the showers as this high pressure builds on in and keeps things fairly quiet for us for at least the middle of the week. No severe potential for us overnight with this isolated shower chance. Tomorrow, though, there is a marginal risk with some of these storms building in the afternoon and evening to bring some heavier rainfall at times and some stronger wind gusts. And then for Tuesday, that marginal risk crosses into Grant County in the southwest corner of the state. Not expecting as much of a storm threat for us with those shower potential chances sliding in for us late on Tuesday. So again, by tomorrow morning, we're looking at a mostly cloudy sky throughout the day, variably cloudy though, so we could get some isolated pockets of sunshine. In the afternoon, that's really when we're expecting to see most of the rain and storm chances slide on through. By Tuesday, things look clear in the morning, and then in the afternoon, we have in late evening that chance for a few isolated showers and thunderstorms. Plan on an overnight low of about 63, so a pretty similar start to the day tomorrow. Pretty humid outside and mild tomorrow afternoon. High temperatures will be in the middle 70s, so a degree or two cooler than today. But then we start to warm right back on up for us. In the middle of the week, we're in the low 80s for Tuesday and Wednesday. And then heading into Thursday, Friday, and the weekend, that's when we're going to really watch our temperatures climb, and those heat index readings will also climb for us. So when our temperatures start to get to the mid to upper 80s and we're talking about that much humidity out there, that means our dew points or our heat index readings, will be in the mid to low 90s. So it is going to certainly feel like summer as we get to the end of this week. Yeah.
Yeah, and that Wednesday is the day that we won't expect any showers, so that's right. That one day.
Wednesday's looking dry for right now, and then almost every day, again, with that moisture hanging around, it looks like some slight shower chances heading into the weekend, but no more big systems sliding in for us.
All right, some good news. Thank you, Dana. Jerry Kelly was ready to call it quits at the American Family Insurance Championship. Then it was playoff time. Sports is next.
Madison's Jerry Kelly, Edgerton's Steve Stricker, final round of the American Family Insurance Championship. Both in the hunt, both had chances to win in regulation, and both worked overtime, looking to win at their hometown Champions Tour event. Stricker on 18 to win. Whoa, sneaks by. Jerry Kelly, who's ready to concede and give his goodbye press conference, like, all right, he's in a three-man playoff with Retief Goosen and Stricker, who on the first playoff hole is eliminated, and Kelly would kick the door all the way open. Third playoff hole approach. Sticks it on 15 and has a short one to win it. He's a little excited. Fourth career Champions Tour win, first at the AmFam. Jay Wilson wraps up our coverage from University Ridge.
Well, this certainly was the most exciting American Family Insurance Championship in history, at least for local golf fans. Steve Stricker and Jerry Kelly both had a chance to win it on the 18th green. Neither one did. Kelly goes to the playoff and gets his first victory in a year and a half. And the funny thing is, he didn't even see the winning putt go in.
I knew it looked like it was going well inside the edge and going in, and I turned and yelled. And then he hugged me really hard, so I figured it must have gone in. Can't just press a button and say, okay, we're in Wisconsin. It must be the Wisconsin guys. I mean, it's actually harder than it is easier. So I think we've had a great record. And again, to have two of us in the playoff, I think it's impressive.
And for tournament host Steve Stricker, tantalizingly close to the win.
When you have that opportunity, you know, in your hands to end it, you know, you want to, and that's what you work all day for, all tournament for, is put yourself in that position to see if you can do it, and I wasn't able to do it.
They also announced that next year's American Family Insurance Championship will be much earlier, June 5th through the 7th. So that means Jerry Kelly doesn't even have to wait a year to try to defend his title. At University Ridge, at the American Family Insurance Championship, I'm Jay Wilson.
Final round LPGA Championship. Hannah Green never won a major before.
It was good rhythm.
Looking for one today. The lady from Down Under, down to 9 under. Even par 72 was good enough. Out of the bunker, wants to get up and down, and she would. She taps that one in, winning by one shot, her first major over Sung Hyun Park. The Brewers had won back-to-back games in 2 weeks, still playing tug-of-war with the Cubs to see if anyone wants to actually lead the division for more than 10 minutes, hoping to split with the all-of-a-sudden pretty good playing Reds. Mike Moustakas going off the wall and right, going to double the Crews' lead. A 2-run score to make it 4-0. Now, the Reds made it interesting. Top of the 9th, Kurt Casale. Back up the middle off Jeremy Jeffress. An RBI single, scores Yasiel Puig, but they wouldn't score again. Jeffress closes it out. Brewers win 7-5. They're off on Monday. Cubs trying to split 4 with the Mets. Pete Alonso, 2014 Madison Mallards representing. The Mets are happy he's a Met in 2019. 27 home runs, breaks the team's rookie record. Bottom 8, Javier Baez sitting on 99 career homers. Swing and Stroll, his 100th. Gives the Cubs a lead for good, and they win 5-3. They're a half game up on the Crew. Elimination time at the Women's World Cup. France in white, Brazil in gold. Extra time, tied at 1. Set pieces, set pieces, set pieces. Amandine Henry, the captain, buries the game winner, Les Bleus, onto the quarterfinals with a 2-1 win. England, Cameroon, another round of 16 contest off the corner kick. I said set pieces, set pieces, set pieces. For England, Alex Greenwood. Oh, wonderful strike. 3-0, the 3 Lionesses. I think that's proper. Don't email me saying I don't know how to speak English. They win 3-0. They'll get Norway in the round of 8. USA and Spain play tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
Lionesses.
Lionesses. The 3 lions, lionesses. I think it rolls off the tongue. It's good.
We'll be right back.
Lionesses.
A lacrosse pastor has an exciting new haircut, all because of her congregation's generosity. Reverend Joanne Richmond promised to get a mohawk if her church collected more than 500 packages for refugees, packages of socks and things to donate to people at the southern border. And she's not sure if she will keep the haircut, but looks pretty good, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm a fan of all short hair because I don't have any.
Yeah,
so,
anything that will inspire people
you can
to
pull
do
the mohawk,
good.
that's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at weather.
So we're looking at a very warm and humid week. Some rain chances to start to pop up for us tomorrow afternoon, and it'll continue into the evening.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.